today. Let me know if you have the questions. Okay, you have them? All right, so let's start. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. All right, so question number 1. What springs to mind when you hear the word investment? Victor, can you start?
Yeah, I can start. So that's a good question. And for example, when comes on, like in my mind, investment is like two ways. You can invest something that is secure for yourself, or you can invest in something that's not secure, that you're gonna take some risk. And we are going on in this scenario about inflation and everything's going on right now that's kind of complicated to handle. So about investment, a word that comes to my mind is how that for example, is the a key word is how to invest in this nowadays, because it's really tricky about the inflation and everything's going on in our mind.
Nice one. Yeah, it is tricky, especially because we are not a society that is educated to invest, so everything is new for us. Paulo, what do you think?
So this question is very wide because you only invest in about money. I think when Victor said he tried to be a polyglot, I think that is investment too, an investment in yourself. But I agree with Victor because we don't have money education, financial education. Unfortunately, Brazil, it's we have many advertisements when how could you become a rich people? You have many strategies, many systems, but unfortunately, it's very dangerous to follow these kind of guides. So, um, so that's it.
Nice, thank you, Paulo. Victor, can you read and answer question number 2, please?
Okay, how important is it to invest? Okay, Sarah.
Okay, it's my turn to answer.
Yeah, I asked to
Okay,
you for you. Yeah.
nice. Okay, how important it is to invest? I think more important than invest is, I think, is to save money. If we're talking about money, not other things. Because yeah, invest, you're like putting your money to work for you, that common sentence that the internet loves. But I think the action of saving money requires you to evaluate what are you spending money with and what can you reduce. You know, you don't have to, can you reduce your, how can I say, gastos? Do you guys know?
Spendings.
My spendings, how can I reduce them? So for me, it's very important to invest, but more important than that is to evaluate your income, evaluate your spendings, and see if you can save some money. Paulo, what do you think?
I agree with you. Sometimes we had increase our salary, for example, but we don't think how can I spend our salary. So when I create a strategy to spend less, I think it's a kind of investment. But there are other investments, financial market there are a lot of investments. But I think the question, I try to answer the question. So it's important to prevent some kinds of things happens in a life. So for this reason, it's important to invest. It's important to spend less. That's it. And you, Victor, what do you think?
So about this area, I'm kind of a beginner in this area. I don't know too much about it, but I think that when you look at the scenario, for example, if you gain, for example, I'll give some example. If we gain like 1,000 bucks, how that we can save? For example, we can save, I don't know, we need to pay our bills, we need to do the things we need. For example, if you have a son, you need to take care of him or her. I don't know, but I think that is really essential for us to try to save some money, like you guys are saying right now. And I think like we try to, for example, if I have 1,000 bucks, I can save 100 bucks like every monthly. Why? Because investment is not something that you're going to look at for 1 year. Investment is something that you're going to look for 10, 20, 30 years, because we look at some scenario that's really, really, really unpredictable. So we need to take and put in our mind. So I'm gonna save 100 bucks for 30 years. How this money can change for the future? How much money that I can make in 30 years, in 25 years, is a long path. It's not a short marathon. So I agree that it's important to invest in a long period, not a short one.
Teacher,
Yes,
I'm sorry. I just a little comment on
of
this
course.
phrase of Victor. The answer depends sometimes how can you invest the 30 years. But I remember I talked to my wife in the last weekend. Our country, it's we have a huge problem to front in the future. It's insurance public insurance. I don't know say that in English because we agree it's young people works to retired people. Okay, but in the future there are more old people than young. So how can we solve this problem? It's a big question. So that's this scenario. It's very important to invest now.
Yes, it is a good point. I remember my parents, they keep telling me that I gotta have a public insurance for my retirement. And those young people from YouTube like Thiago Negro, Natalia Arcuri, they tell you that you cannot depend on the public insurance system. You have to do your own private private savings. I don't know. Do you guys know what I mean? So yeah, I get confused, and my plan for me is to have both because I don't know what's gonna happen. So the plan is to have a private amount of money in the bank so I can retire in the future, and the public one. But that's a good point, Paulo. Thank you for sharing. Okay, guys. Paulo, okay, you have to do something, say something.
Yes, Victor, hands up.
No, he just clapped, I think.
Oh man, thank you. I'm sorry.
All right. Paulo, can you please read and answer the question number 3?
Okay, teacher. Do you think you would be a cautious or risk investor? What do you think, Victor?
So about myself, I'm going to be very honest in this field because, like I said, I'm a beginner in this field. So right now, I'm trying to be a cautious one. I'm trying to I'm trying to saving. That's the thing that I'm trying to do right now. But for the future, if I gain more knowledge, I can discover others ways to invest, for example. So is that my opinion right now?
Nice. What about you, Paulo?
And nowadays it's very hard to save any money. But I think I my 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 strategy is very cautious because I have a family, so I cannot try to be any risks. And you,
Yeah, that's
teacher?
a good point. I am like a moderate investor. I took several of tests when I started to study investment, and I am a moderate. I invest in Bitcoin and also those kind of funds from the government. I don't know the translation, and also ações, stocks. But I suck at investing. I don't like investing. I don't like doing for myself. So, and also I suffer when Bitcoin is going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I decided I cannot do this by myself. I am not a risky investor. I'm a moderate one, moderate to cautious, you know.
You are moderate.
Yeah. But I just invest like a little bit of those things that I told you guys.
Because doesn't look like, teacher, you are moderate. You
Why do you
invest
think that?
you invest in bitcoins. I think it's a little there are risks in this investment,
It is
and
risky.
you invest in treasure, public treasure.
Isso. Yeah. Isso.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a low risk this investment, but we think when you invest, for example, in I try to say that in IPCA
Mm-hmm.
or Selic, you are very uh, you are risk when you invest in a long time. For example, treasure money to 20, 40, 40, 45, for example. There
Mm-hmm.
is some investment like that.
Yeah.
But how the public counts there is in 2045 in Brazil. It's very
Unsure.
unpredictable.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. But I invest on those things like a little amount of money. So it's not the thing that I invested, but the way that I invested, you know? It didn't represent like a lot of my money. It was just a little bit to experience and to learn, you know?
About 5%, for
Yes.
example. Okay.
Yes. Okay, guys. Everybody answered? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So question number 4. What kind of things can you invest in? Victor, show us your knowledge.
No, I don't have knowledge about it. But for example, I like something that will gonna benefit myself like in the moment. So if I try to invest something, I will not try to invest on the internet or stuff like that. I just, for example, if I have $100 in my wallet, I can just pick this money, I can go to, for example, a store and I can buy some candies. And with these candies, with this money, I can, for example, I bought a candy for $1 and I can like sell for $2, $2. That's an investment that I think if I do, for example, if I take this $100 and I can buy like 100 candies, so I can gain $200, I can do this in 3 hours or 2 hours, and I can make real money without to wait in the internet generate money for me and to try to, for example, buy many courses that sometimes doesn't work at all.
That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. So I don't know the name for that, but you're talking about investing in like a little company to earn more money, right? And your company, you are doing the work to earn more money. You're not investing in someone else's company like we do in stocks, right?
Yes, exactly. I'm working with my own legs, yeah, exactly. And with my hands and gestures and my voice. And yeah, that's it.
Nice. Paulo, what else?
These are some principles to the rich father and poor father. The book
Yeah.
separating four quadrants. I don't know say that in
Uh-huh.
English. And I think the third quadrant is victory strategy. We try to make if your work he own money. I think that about the question, I try to improve myself. I don't businessman. So for example, I'm a public servant and I civil servant. I think that so I try to improve my knowledge, my for example, I try to make certifications to improve my experience, things like that. But money nowadays nothing.
Yeah. What do you guys think about gambling? Like, do you guys have this habit of going to, I don't know, horse races and gambling money there to earn more money, or poker games? What do you guys think about that, Victor?
I don't like to gambling. Why? Because money is so hard to 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 get in our hands. So I don't like to gambling. Gambling is a situation like that. I don't like to say this on YouTube, but for example, money, like for example, if you like to gamble in something, you can win. You can win, I don't know, 1,000, but you can lose 5,000. You can win 5,000, but you can lose 1 million. I don't know. It's gambling. It's unpredictable. So because of it, I don't like gambling. I like to work in an honest way. But I know that today gambling is allowed to everybody. Yeah, but I don't like it.
Yeah. What do you think, Paulo?
Teacher, I don't know say that's similar to gambling, but we have other problems in Brazil. I think it's mainly companies about that.
A what?
Uh,
Sorry.
about soccer games bad
Oh,
that
bad. Okay.
bad
Sorry.
it's we have a lot of these companies and I think there are many problems because the people sometimes addicted in this kind of thing and family problem it's like a drug I
Yeah.
think it's the kind of thing.
Good
But
point.
I don't I try to not bet because it's very simple. All of your friends bet something, but I resist about that.
Yeah.
I
I
try
was
today.
That's okay. I was thinking about how investing in the beginning is like gambling because you don't have a lot of knowledge to to study and to evaluate that kind of stock, that kind of investment. So you gamble. For me, it was like that. I gamble with Bitcoin because I didn't have enough knowledge to know how it works and how and when it's gonna rise and down. I don't remember the word, but you guys got me. So for me, it was a little bit like gambling, but they are gambling things like bets, like football bets and lottery tickets that you buy. You cannot predict any of that. You cannot study and understand who is going to win at the end.
Teacher,
Yeah.
probably anyone knows what happened in future. Okay, there are many guys who try to study statistics, but I think it's not anyone knows what happens in the future. So that's it, I think.
Yeah, at the end, it is a little bit of gambling to invest money in stocks because you can try to predict and you cannot always be sure. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Question number 5. Do you like reading about investments? Victor?
I'm gonna be honest again. I never read about investment before, but I like to watch some videos on YouTube that they are
Nice.
really reliable and they are really great. I like to follow all these guys. For example, we have some Brazilians that it was mentioned here before, like you guys said, and have, for example, and has, for example, others. Have, for example, others investors that are about other countries that we can consume with English and can learn a lot. And yeah, that's it. But I never read about investment before. I just like to consume from YouTube. Is one of the tools that I'm using nowadays.
Nice. I think I am a little bit similar as you, Victor, because I stopped reading. I think it's easier to watch videos on YouTube and we can put on the 2 speed and watch it very, very fast. Paulo, what about you?
So I agree with you. One time I tried to study these guys like Benjamin Graham. I think there is a famous writer about investments. I think the name of book is Intelligent Guide, Intelligent Investor, something like that.
Mhm.
But I prefer videos and YouTube because these studios, you know, these researchers read these books and try to summarize to our public. So I prefer see our videos too.
Nice. Nice one. Okay, Victor, can you please read and answer question number 6?
Okay. Would you like to put money into an investment bank? Paulo?
Man, I think the fintechs it's more easy to invest because banks have many taxes. So nowadays, these big banks in Brazil, very, very, very are few taxes because I don't know, say, race to fintechs, it's very huge. I don't know, say, if you understand me.
No, I didn't. Can you repeat?
Okay, I think nowadays these big banks, there are few taxes because fintechs, uh, it's a huge fighting with fintechs. Big
Oh,
banks and fintechs there is a fighting to our investments.
So you think
So
when
I
the
prefer,
fintechs arrives, they made
yes,
the big banks lower their taxes because they have to be able to compete.
yes, some big banks buy these fintechs. They buy these fintechs
So
because it's yes, for
when they
example,
buy, they lower the taxes.
no, I try to minimize the opponents. I don't know
Oh,
say that in English.
got it.
I'm sorry.
But I understand you. Didn't you? Did you understand, Victor?
What?
Yeah, I think that I got like in point. For example, you can continue, Paulo. Do you want to
Oh,
continue?
I'm sorry. It's a little example. When the
Okay.
uh, financial company XP Investments,
Mm-hmm.
they was bought by Itaú.
Really?
Yes.
They are still
Over,
in Itaú, or they are separate things?
I think it's still in Itaú, but the companies are separated.
Yes,
Okay.
got it.
So it's an example how can a fintech increase and threaten to big banks.
Oh,
It's
got it.
I think it's correct.
No, it's nice. I understand. It's a good example. Victor, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I agree with you, Paulo. That's a good point of view. But for example, for me too, for example, it's really important to invest in banks. Why? Because of the Selic is high nowadays. It's 13%, 13% or even more. So we're gonna generate a little bit of money there. So I think that's really important. And I think your point it was that we have many fintechs that they are creating like the name is I think is digital banks, and they
Digital
are trying,
banks,
yeah, digital
like
banks. I think
Nubank?
is this. Yeah, I think it's this is that they're the fintechs, and with internet that we have in this scenario nowadays is really important that these banks are growing so fast because I think they can generate a little bit of more money when we come to invest than the banks that stay like the normal banks, for example. I think that I got a little bit of our point. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't know that Itaú bought XP. I was shocked.
Yes, I confirm it now because I was in doubt, but it's correct.
So it's a way of the big bank to earn your money, like indirectly.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Question number 7. Can you please read, Paulo, and answer?
So Sarah, 7.
Yep.
How far do you trust people with your money?
Not at all. I am very, very strict with my money. I think it's one of the things in my life that I like to control by the least cent, you know. I like to control everything that I am spending, everything that I'm earning. I don't know why I'm just like that. So I don't like giving people my money for no reason or giving people the password of my bank account so they can access. I don't share my card with my boyfriend, you guys. He knows the password, but we have separate cards, you know, credit cards, and we just use it when we are together. Like he's paying our bill, I say to him, here's my card, you can pay while I go to the bathroom, for example. But we don't have this habit of sharing cards. Not in my family. My mom doesn't do this to me, you know. She didn't give me her card and I stay with her card forever. So yeah, That is who I am. Victor.
Victor,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Victor. When you become, when you married, this is not problem, okay?
Yeah,
You
when
can
you're
share,
married,
you can.
you have to do that. But I am still dating him. You know, he's just my boyfriend, not my husband. So I'm glad that I don't have to share my credit card. Not now. What about you, Victor?
So about me, it's about my family. If my family need my support, I'm gonna share with them without no problem. But I really agree with you guys. If someone asking, no, it's hard money. It's not something that I'm gonna like give for everybody. Just my family, because my family was investing me in all this time since when I was a
Yeah,
child. So because of this factor, I will do everything for all them, because they invested me and they love me like I love them. So that's it.
that's a great point, Victor. I didn't think about that, but I also do this with my family. I feel like if I can help them in any way, I will do because they helped me all of my life. They helped me become who I am, you know? Good point. Paulo, what
After,
about you?
after this class, we all hug our parents, okay?
Yeah, of course.
So, but this question about investments, sometimes you can have a consultant investment, but you really invest, you really research about the guy's story, because sometimes you can give your money someone that are very famous in Instagram or YouTube, but you don't know who this guy are. So I I have an example. I had um, uh, um, any guy in my family invest a lot of money, and the consultant um hobo, I don't know
Took away,
what in
stole
English,
his money.
s- stole all the investment. So his strategy is very complicated, because he said, I will invest in a public treasure, some small caps, but the truth is he invests in a bitcoins. So all money disappeared.
Oh my
And
God.
it's very hard to know how can he um, back this money. It's very hard. It's
Yes,
impossible, I think.
such a difficult situation. Something similar but very small happened with me. I fell in a coup, like golpe in Mercado Livre once. I sold my phone to a ghost client, you know. I sent them the phone and they told me that they sent me a fake email from Mercado Livre, and then I sent them the phone expecting to receive the money, but I didn't receive the money. It was like 1,000 reais, and I cried a lot. I cried like for a week because I don't know, that meant a lot to me. It is only 1,000 reais. For some people, it is just a little bit of money, but for me, it was the world. It was the only money that I had in my savings. But okay, it happens. We have to take care of that. All right, guys. Question number 8. What things do you think are risky investments, Victor?
Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is one of the risks that we can take nowadays. And and has an others. For example, I don't remember right now, but if you do a comparison between things that are risky to invest and things that are safe to invest, has more things they are, for example, more risky than safe to invest in nowadays. So Bitcoin is one of these risky things. I think so.
Yeah, crypto coins in general, I think they are risky. And also that new stuff that people were investing. I don't remember the name, but it was like an image in internet with the monkeys. Do you guys remember?
NFTs. NFTs.
NFTs, yeah. There's also, this seems like it is risky to me. What do you think, Paulo?
When you have time, research about answer Keanu Reeves about the Matrix NFTs. He just smile because anyone can print NFT.
Yeah.
So it's a little joke he tried to make interviewer. But I think the risk investment is an investment that you know don't works.
You know it doesn't
And
work.
yes, any investment you don't have acknowledged how works the
Oh,
investment. It's risk investment,
got it, got it.
I think.
It was like something that I said in the beginning, like if you don't have the knowledge about that investment, it is just like gambling. So it is risky.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
Okay, guys, question number 9. If you had just $1, what would you invest in it and why? Victor.
So $1 is not a lot, but for example, I'm gonna invest in a candy that I can buy, like all this process, and I can multiply, buy more and more and more and more. I can have more money. That's it. That's it.
That's a good point. I don't know. I think I'm gonna steal your example and buy some candy. And probably I'm gonna eat the candy, so not good
Oh,
one for me.
or for example, you can buy water. For example, water is such a everybody's like needs water. So if you are go to the beach on the beach, for example, for sure you're gonna save.
Victor is an entrepreneur, guys. He needs to build his own company one day.
Yes, man. And I have a proud to talk to him one day.
What?
I have a proud to talk to him one day.
Yes.
In the future.
Guys, I've been learning this with my mom and my dad, because my mom, like, she was doing this all day long. She was working so hard. She was selling some chocolates on the street and trying to do these stuffs. And one day I tried to do this once, and it was amazing because I inspired myself in her, and that was the best moment in my life. But guys, everybody can do it. That's
Yes.
a simple thing. Yeah, thanks a lot.
I don't think everyone has the patience to watch something grow. Like buy something, work in that thing, work in that candy that you bought and sell the candy, go to the streets and talk to people. I don't think a lot of people have that in them, have this soul of an entrepreneur guy. So it's not for everyone. Did you guys already answer everything? Paulo, you didn't.
No, it just hey man, it's a really serious talk you said, but I saw a joke in the old TV show in Brazil, Trapalhões.
Yeah?
They had a joke, they had a scene. It's a rich man, Didi. it was he was a rich man, and he had an interview. So the guy asked to him, "Hey man, how do you become a rich man?" So DG said, I sell, I win one orange. So I sell this orange and I bought two oranges. These two oranges I sell and I bought four oranges. In the end of the story, he won the lottery and becomes rich man.
Oh my God.
Did you
Yes. I love it.
Man, this kind of I'm sorry, it's a joke, okay, Paul. I really believes in this fault. I really believes in this process, okay. But I'm sorry, I don't não consegui me segurar de falar essa piada, ok? I'm sorry.
I couldn't hold myself. Nice one. Okay, guys, question number 10. How is it possible to invest in people? Is this a good idea? Victor, would you invest in people?
If I have money, I'm gonna do it. Because, for example, human beings, they are the most interesting things that you can invest. Why? Because they have brand, and brand works a lot. And if you give them knowledge, they can work and work so hard that they can achieve everything in their lives. So for sure, if I have money, I'm gonna invest in all human beings, for sure.
Can you give me an example of what kind of person or profession would you invest money in?
Imagine, for example, the world. If the system invests money in people, invest good money in people that they are interested to in the same aspect. Imagine how the world is gonna works. You're gonna work tremendously, but it's not everybody that wants knowledge. It's not everybody that wants to share knowledge. So that's the fact.
Good point. Good point. Paulo, what about you?
I always think how Brazil is in the IDH, IDH,
Mm-hmm.
if our governments invest in education, for example, in education in sports. I think we really have a capital woman to become this nation the first nation of the world. I think it's a first nation, not but um, uh,
The top 5.
we had yes the top five. Thank you. Yes, if we investment if you invest in the people in the education, the base of education is very important too. In sports, I think these two kinds of investment it's too important our country, for example.
Nice. Victor, would you add anything to that list? Education, sports? Do you think we need to invest in something else?
Education, sports, healthy.
Health is a good point. If we have sick people, they cannot think. Yeah, it is a good example that you gave, Victor, when I asked you about what kind of person or profession would you invest in. Because I think, for example, if our country invested more in researches, like in the universities, for example, not just more, but invest with more quality, and evaluate the works that are being published in the universities. I think we have a lot of potential. Oh my God. We have a lot of good researchers in Fortaleza, in Pernambuco, Recife. I've worked for a while in a researcher laboratory here in the University of Viçosa. And a lot of researchers, the best researchers in my field were from the northeast of Brazil. So it's a potential that's been wasted.
Teacher, unfortunately, we live in a strange moment because there are many of these researchers travel to other countries, live in other countries because in
Yes.
Brazil we don't have a support for
Yeah.
these guys. I work at this as a cybersecurity analyst in Federal University of Ceará,
Nice.
and I saw many guys travel to other countries because they have support, your
Yes.
researchers and other things.
It's an absurd.
Unfortunately to Brazil, but good there to
Yeah.
them.
Yes. It is an absurd that a doctorate student earns like 2,500 reais to dedicate 4 years of their lives to study, and they just earn that. You know, if you live in São Paulo, 2,500 is your rent. You cannot pay your bills. Okay, guys. So we finish our session. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure to know Victor and you, Sarah. Thank you.
Nice to have you two here. Victor, do you want to say something?
Yeah, for me it was a pleasure, and guys, it was a nice conversation. And that's it. It was amazing. And thanks for met this man Paulo and Sarah, this girl. So thanks a lot, you guys. Today here I absorbed a lot of knowledge here from you guys. So thanks a lot.
That's so nice, guys. I'm glad. I'm happy to meet you guys today. I send you the survey link where you can evaluate this session and give your opinions, your suggestions, okay? I'm gonna end this session a little bit early because we have the Brazil's game. I don't know if you guys want to watch, but just in case, I'm ending it 5 minutes early, and because we don't have any more questions. And that's it. Have a nice week. Hope Brazil wins, and bye-bye.